Hello and welcome to another garden tour. I wanted to make sure I got this recorded tonight because we have some severe storms coming in the next 3 days with damaging winds. It's been a great few weeks. We've had a lot of rain the last couple days, and today was a beautiful day, and I have spent a lot of time weeding and getting all of the tomatoes trimmed, get a lot of stuff tied up so that we're ready for this next round of storms that come in. So I'm going to take you around the garden and show you what's happening. This bed sadly has become a mess. As you can see right here, this is a batch of beets, and I have some tomatoes. This is a striped Roma. Now this run right here was planted very neatly in blocks, in rows, and then my dog came and she dug up all of it. So I thought, well, I better reseed it, and so I did it again, and as you can see, this was the third round. She dug them up twice, so as you can see, there's kale, there's carrots, there's sunflowers in the corner, there's lettuce, there was also kohlrabi and Brussels sprouts, and now I have no idea what is what anymore. I have a lot of calendula and borage that has reseeded itself from last year, which I was happy to see. I do have a couple of the purple kohlrabis. Those I can at least tell what they are. And then here we have a few more tomatoes. So I have a Paul Robeson, purple bumblebee, and white cherry. And quite a few of these are actually getting blossoms on them. So I'm really happy about that. I have another spare tomato that I don't even remember what it is anymore, but added that to a pot. And then these are sweet peas that are really slow going. And then some beautiful snapdragons from my friend. I planted this old ash bin that was my grandfather's with some candy striped zinnias, so I'm excited to see what that looks like. And then in this bed I have a champagne bubbles, some sunflowers, borage, a little baby nasturtium, some basil, a Tommy Toe tomato is this one, more borage, and more sunflowers. And so my plan is that when these start growing up, I will tie them to this trellis. So I think that'll work out okay. If not, I'll just make some cages out of some fencing that I have. This is another one of the smaller beds. I have borage, nasturtium. This is a Napa Chardonnay blush, another nasturtium, and then more borage. So it's a pretty basic bed. And then I have another gate that I'm going to be putting that matches the one that's on the other side that I'll show you. But I'll be tying that and trellising that to the fence when I get it up. And then I have this beautiful setup. So these are new beds this year. This one, and the one on the end. And then I used fencing wire that was not sturdy enough, so I made some branch supports, which I personally like. I like that they add a little rustic touch. So in this bed, I have butterhead, I think it's Little Gem butterhead lettuce. And then I have kaleidoscope carrots. And then I have sunflowers, and then this is dino kale. And then I was really happy to see when I came out today that we have our first Sugar Daddy Sugar Snap pea blossom. Now these are really short compared to, if you look down there, these are my Sugar Magnolia tendril peas, and they're a good 2 feet taller. and I think I may see the first blossoms, so we'll see. I forgot to mention these little guys are cucamelons, and then I think those are cucumbers or possibly melons. I did a terrible job identifying this stuff and putting markers in. Half the markers I did put in washed away, the writing washed off. This is the middle bed of the arches. I've got more of the sugar daddy sugar snap peas. Those I believe are, yeah, those are cantaloupe. So those are looking okay. And then some sunflowers. And then I think I planted a bunch of kale down this row, and then this is garlic, and then more kale here, but it's obviously, it's either kale or kohlrabi, but it's just barely starting. And then of course more sunflowers. And then in the back, these have Isabella and NB zinnias from M.I. Gardner, and then these are gladiolas, and then these are more of the Isabella and NB zinnias. Now here are the sugar magnolia tendril peas, and I've never grown these before, and they're growing really wonderful, but they're not really, like, I think inside here, I think these are going to be blossoms, and on the other one, I'll show you, I think that one might have a blossom on it. So I believe these are the blossoms, but I was under the impression that they were supposed to be purple. So I don't really know what's happening. I guess we'll see once they open up. The leaves have a little bit of purple on them, which is really pretty. But this whole side is filled with those. So I think that'll look really pretty when they climb up and over the trellis. And in here, I have a bunch of the purple kohlrabi. These guys are my pineapple ground cherries, and I'm super excited. I have one right there, and then I have another one here in this corner, and then more of this butterhead lettuce, which I've been pulling out and giving to friends, and then more sunflowers. So here's a view of the garden from the back side. Here we have my pollinator garden. So these foxglove I planted last year, and this year they are blooming, and they are absolutely stunning. Most of them ended up being this pink color. This middle section is bee balm, and then in the center down there is going to be Mexican torch sunflowers, and I'm hoping they will still grow. They're more fall, but I'm hoping I didn't choke them out by planting all this bee balm here. I also planted lupine. These are starts for this year. It's their first year, so this one will be producing leaves this year. So will this little guy down here, and then this one over here will be producing leaves, and then they'll bloom next year. But as you can see, this is the only one that I had that was a different color. So this is a real pale pink, and then these are the darker color. But they're absolutely stunning, and the hummingbirds love them, and we've been seeing a lot of, oh look, we have a bee friend. Oh, he flew away. This is the one lupine that was established from last year, and you can see the blossom is right there, so we should have lupines pretty soon. So I'll make sure to save a lot of seeds from that, because I want to be able to get those established more in the garden. Now this section is kind of a mess. I just have a bunch of things that were given to me, and so I've just been adding it, but I'm so excited because these are elderberries in the red pots, these are strawberries, and then this is stevia, and I have another stevia on the other side. This is our fig tree. And then this is an extra green zebra tomato that I had that I thought I lost to the frost. and is still looking really healthy. So I've just moved it to a pot, and then we'll let it see how it grows, and hopefully it'll produce something. This bed has a mix of 3 different colors of carnations. The pink, white, and a dark purple that Emma Gardner put out. And then it also has the giant McKenna mix columbine. In the center is dill and fennel. So the dill and fennel is to attract the swallowtail butterflies. So hopefully we'll get some caterpillars. And then just a bunch of beautiful flowers around the outside. This bed has really taken a long time to get started. So we'll see what it looks like. In the white pot, we have more of the sweet peas. This is another tomato that I thought I lost and saved. This is a Ukrainian purple, and I think there might be some blossoms on it, but I'm not quite sure. But it's still looking healthy, so I'm gonna let it go. So here we have another row of tomatoes. So we have the sweetie tomato, Cherokee purple, red centiflora, and green zebra. This I've never seen before, and I'm wondering if maybe somebody can help me understand. The webbing, not webbing, it's all, I've just never seen a tomato do this. It's not even like it had suckers. It just grew a ton of shoots off the side. So I'm gonna leave it until it gets to the point where I can't keep it under control. But this is the Cherokee purple, so let me know if you guys have had any experience growing Cherokee purple and if that's normal. And then as you can see, I have there's a little nasturtium, that's a volunteer that I'm gonna pull out. There's some opal basil right here that's really struggling to take off. These blossoms are from the red centiflora, and I'm really excited to see what this looks like. The stem is really healthy. It's looking really great. Looks like I've got a sucker I need to pull off. But really happy plant. More random barrage that has self-seeded. Another little nasturtium. And then this is the green zebra. And that one's looking well too. Some sunflowers in the back. I'll go around the other side here. So the kids planted some beets, and I think that's might be what these are. But we've got sunflowers, pretty sure those are beets. I've got Anton basil, and then some more sunflowers. So that bed is looking really good. I do need to get some mulch in here though. That'll be the next project after this rain comes through. Here we have a few little blossoms on the Tess's Land Race currant tomato. Here we've got more barrage, nasturtium, basil, and then the Brad's Atomic Grape. And it looks like we may have some blossoms forming on that too. I just don't have the heart to pull blossoms. I've never grown any of these, and honestly I just want to see if I like them. I did have in the back here, along this back, I had planted some perennial sweet peas, and in neither of the beds they're coming up. So I think I'm gonna have to try to start those inside and transplant them to the back fence. And this is the last tomato that rounds out all the beds in the rocked area. Also sunflowers, nasturtiums, and barrage. And this is the Ukrainian purple. And as you can see, we've got some blossoms here, and I think some up here. So we're excited for that one. And this is probably one of the tallest that I have, but the leaves are really wilty, and it's very droopy. So I don't know if that's normal for this variety of tomato. So if you know, please let me know if that's normal or if there's something maybe wrong. And this is our beautiful, freshly mulched and weeded flower garden. Let me back up here a little. That rose kind of just takes over. Peonies are kind of on their way out now. I did cut some and bring them in. The Japanese iris, which are these purple, they are done. The ground cover sedum is blooming and is beautiful. A couple of these lilies will be popping up soon, and then the allium will be going to seed, and I'll be definitely saving some of that. But the smell out here is so strong between the roses and the peonies. And then here are, this is my little jigsaw pepper, and then 2 green peppers, and they're really struggling. Like, they're super tiny, but I've had them out for a good month now, and I should have never put them out this early, so hopefully they'll bounce back. I've got hostas and rose snapdragons, gladiolas, tulips, bleeding heart, which is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. I bought this plant. I bought this as a root, like a bare root, and look at how tiny this is. It's like, I don't know, 5 inches tall. And then we have, these are forget-me-nots, and then I've got some snapdragons, planted some yarrow up here. These are carnations that were extra that I'm going to get added in, and then this is the section that I'm not done with. I've got 2 more jigsaw peppers, and then this is a jalapeno. So hopefully now that the weather's warming up, they'll get bigger. And we've got a couple irises still in bloom. We've got, these are coneflower, yarrow. This is a butterfly bush. This one's all white. We've got irises that are done blooming. There's an iris back there that has broken in one of the storms. This is another, see this I haven't weeded yet, but if you can see down there, that's another butterfly bush that I've got to get uncovered. Got an iris back there that hasn't bloomed yet. This big chunk here is obedient plant. I brought this from Wisconsin and it has taken over and it's so beautiful. I can't wait to show it to you. I've got some milkweed that's looking fantastic. Back here, this is scabiosa, this plant right here. More irises. Aren't those just stunning? Got another clump of, this is butterfly weed. This is like a shorter bush type variety. And this I did get done, so this looks really nice here. Really happy with how that turned out. So I just only have a little bit left to go. So this one right here is Veronica. This is, I can't remember this exact, this is like a sedum in fall that'll bloom. Another butterfly bush. These were daffodils. I've got an echinacea coneflower that's gonna bloom soon, a couple blooms. I've got another thing of milkweed. This is cool. The ones in the back are blooming, but these are fire poker lilies. They're really cool. This, I believe, is the Lollipop Verbena. It gets really tall and then has the purple flowers on it. I cut it all the way back and I don't know if I was supposed to. Hopefully it still gets big. More milkweed. Not sure what this was, but it kind of looks like primrose, so I've left it. There's a little tiny mum down there. This is my lilac tree from Wisconsin that I unfortunately trimmed at the wrong time at the end of the season last year, and we had no blossoms, so that was very heartbreaking. We have another iris down here. That one's done blooming. Let's see what else. This is fireworks goldenrod, hollyhocks, liatris. This is the little milkweed. Got a couple cosmos in there, which I have not been successful at all growing those. Those are bee balm. There's some lilies. These are phlox. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but there is a giant blue jay. Oh, he just flew away. And then again, these are some more lilies. Fireworks goldenrod. And I think that's, oh, and then these are columbine. So hopefully these will take off. It's gotten really sunny. I think it's the calm before the storm. The sun is out. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's really windy. As you can see, we've done a ton of work and we've gotten a lot done. That garden is looking fabulous, and I'm really excited to show you this garden back here, which has been a work in progress for 2 years now. So let me turn you around. Doesn't this look amazing? All new mulch. Everything is weeded and thinned. Got lemon balm, yarrow, parsley that I just transplanted from a friend, milkweed, butterfly bush, which is beautiful. It's bright purple. That's Russian sage. This is catmint, and then these are the fire poker lilies. Aren't those cool? And they open even farther than this, like you can see those. But they'll open farther than that, and the hummingbirds love them. In the middle here we have more milkweed. I have catmint. And then this back here, which I always called the kids' garden, this is just a mix that was dumped last year. So what came up was some sweet Williams, which is dianthus. So there's that color. And there's that color, but this is, I don't know what this is, and I'm beyond excited for it to bloom. I think it might be a coreopsis. This was blue flax. As you can see, there's only one little bud left, but that was beautiful. A couple of these things have buds but have never bloomed yet, so we're still waiting. My asparagus shot up like crazy. And looks like a fern tree now. And then look at all of these. So I have everything caged, but we have tons and tons of strawberries. The rocks are painted, remember? But lots of strawberries, and I'm so excited. So I've kept them caged, and I've also been caging our hollyhocks because I've had things trying to eat those. So I've got a lot of those under different cages to keep them safe. Looks like we'll also have some cosmos back here, which must have come from that seed packet. This is a really pretty colored leaf, and I don't know what that is, but that's a cosmo there. So as you can see, this is coming along really, really nice. I'm so happy with how it looks now that it's cleaned out and mulched. I've got more of that fireworks goldenrod here in the middle. A lot of different heights, a lot of different colors. Bunch more milkweed that I've been getting established back here, and some kind of berries, and I want to say they're blackberries, but I can't remember. My friend told me to leave them because they should produce. If they don't produce this year, they should produce next year. So we'll find out what those are together. More milkweed. Those were little violets that I dug up out of the yard. This is an iris that I brought home from Wisconsin, and sadly it didn't bloom this year, but I did put it in the ground last fall, so it just may need a year to get established. But it's really happy and healthy. And then more milkweed. So that's that back garden, and I think it looks fabulous. So as if I didn't have enough tomatoes in the garden and in pots down in the rock bed down here, I planted so many extra that I actually had to put some in pots on the deck. So I'm gonna take you up there now and show you what's happening up there. Before I take you up there, I forgot I need to show you, this is our herb bed. And I've got some cilantro, and the chives are just about ready to go to seed. Got oregano. This is some kind of a sage. More cilantro, bee balm, or not bee balm, lemon balm and oregano. And this lemon balm I have been ripping out non-stop. Cannot get it to stop growing. These little tiny opal basils, not doing so well. They just take a long time to get established for some reason. And even this is chamomile, and that's been growing forever. But I'm assuming because we've had such cold temperatures that that's really slowed everything down. And then I've got some dianthus in there, so that bed's looking really nice. Those pops of purple are really pretty. This is another new addition. This is a Thornless Blackberry, I believe, that my friend gave me. And then in this pot, this is chocolate mint, although it originally was cilantro, parsley, and one tiny little thing of chocolate mint, and now it's literally the whole thing. So I think I might pull the parsley and the cilantro out and just try to fill that in, because it is really pretty. It's just I have no need for that much chocolate mint. And the final bed down here, that's a hydrangea. A lot more of the dianthus in a couple different colors. More chives. I have chamomile in here too that is barely doing anything. More lemon balm. I had some basil in here too, and that's just not coming up. And I have no idea what this is, but I dug it up out of the yard and moved it in here, and it's really not doing anything. So I might pull that out. But that's really it for that bed. There really isn't much in there. This is what I'm most excited about. Do you see those tiny little tomatoes? This is the orange currant tomato, and this is up on our deck. And then I have a sunrise bumblebee here, and then this was a spare Napa Chardonnay. This is an unknown, and there's Della. But this is one little section that I have of pots on the deck. And then in this pot we have the dark opal basil, Siam Queen, and then the lemon basil over there. And they seem to be doing much better up here on the deck, so it might be that it's too much sun for these varieties, and maybe not. I don't know. I don't understand why they're not doing the same. And then I have more strawberries, and I cannot wait to eat these. And they're looking really healthy and happy in these pots. This is a Get Stuffed tomato. These are a mix of carnations. And then this guy down here is another Get Stuffed tomato. And I've never grown any of these varieties of tomatoes in the whole garden except for the Sweetie tomato, which I grew last year. But the Get Stuffed tomato I got specifically for making bruschetta. And I will let you know how that goes. But I think this looks really nice together. And there you have it. An update on the garden, all the flowers, all the vegetables growing right before the storm hits. So hopefully everything still looks the same the next time I bring you back, or if not, hopefully it's just all growing fabulous and nothing got damaged. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and God bless.